call the Thursday, January 22nd meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Grand Marais Public Library to order. It's just after 5. All right, I'm Sarah McManus, trustee.
Sue McClone, trustee.
And Olympia, trustee.
Kevin Board, trustee.
Dave Mills, County Commissioner.
Electra Brandwin, Library Director.
All right. So the first thing we have on our docket is election of officers.
I'll nominate Sarah.
I'll second that.
All right. I would be happy to serve as chair again. I've enjoyed it.
Other officers, we need a secretary.
We need a vice chair and a secretary.
Who were the vice chair and secretary in 2025?
I'm the vice chair.
Okay.
I'm the secretary.
Yeah.
Someone wants to grab it, they can.
I'll nominate you guys for the same slate here.
That's fine with me.
I would second that. You all have done very well.
I move that we accept the slate as presented.
Support?
I'll second.
All right. Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Efficient.
Yes.
Thanks for your leadership.
Thank you. All right, on to the consent agenda. We have today's agenda, the minutes from our November meeting, and the bills from the last 2 months because we didn't meet in December.
I move this consent agenda.
Support.
And motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. In the communications, we've got the standard fund statements from St. Paul, Minnesota Foundation and the Boreal Waters, as well as a letter the library received from the Grand Marais State Bank regarding pennies. Does anyone feel any need for discussion on any of those items?
Well, I'd happily discuss pennies, but I have absolutely no effect on it, but it is really annoying.
It is. Do you want to just speak to how the library is planning to handle this at the moment?
Sure. So this affects us citywide, and City Council will need to make a policy level decision. Until that time, we've been given guidance to stop taking coins since we can't, the pennies since we can't deposit them, and also to make decisions at the department level to get through the interim. So we will be rounding up, rounding down, accepting other coins, and waiving fines if that's necessary to help a person reconcile their account.
How much cash flow do you actually have as far as change here?
I'd have to look at my records.
But is it much? Do you do a lot of penny coming in?
It's probably a few dollars at the pennies themselves, but you know, we take a hefty coin bag to the deposit. It's because we have all of our photocopies that are 20 cents a piece, and our faxes are 50 cents. It's very common for people to empty their change here, and we're happy to take it.
Yeah.
But prefer not to receive pennies at this time.
Yeah.
Although I do think any business in town would happily swap out any pennies you had.
Well, and the situation at the bank is fluid as well. They're responding to communications from the Federal Reserve, and so there's some give here.
All right, shall we segue into your report?
Okay, certainly. I'll kind of touch through a couple of the library director's report items, and then we'll go into the security follow-up documents. Thank you so much to Commissioner Mills, Councilor Gary, and Olympia for continuing to serve on our board. I'm very grateful to have everyone, and to have you back is really exciting. The Cook County seat for the Arrowhead Library System Governing Board opened this year in 2025, I should say, and is now filled by former children's librarian Erica Turness. Department goals have been set for the library and are based on the feedback provided by the board from the library performance review that we did together. So thank you very much for your input. They are going to be team building and prioritizing other areas of the strategic plan. Our first action for team building is discussing the theme with staff, and I've invited some feedback to see what would help them feel the most supported and seen and heard in our process, and kind of where they'd like to see this theme take us. Strategic plan is in the agenda today if you all want to have a conversation on that.
Alexa, have you met our new county administrator yet?
No.
Kristen Treble-Halbersma. She has a background in coaching and in training,
Okay.
and she's going to be leading the county board through a board retreat, and has a really nice outline laid out, and might be a great resource to tap into for
Thanks.
training or support or whatever, if staff, if it aligns.
Thank you so much. Yeah. The security cameras the work is in progress. You can see one installed in the front foyer here. Originally, our intention was to cam only the outside of the building, and because we're capturing the facial recognition here, right in the front lobby, there is one camera in the building. It's on everyone's minds and hearts and daily lives, but the immigration and customs enforcement operations that are happening in the Twin Cities have inspired communication, discussion, dialogue inside the library. Our staff, I've provided some guidance on how to respond in the event that an operation occurs on library premise. We're working with City Hall, we are working with the local sheriff's office and have guidance from them. And I'm always incorporating the therapist support through our employee assistance program to try to create a robust plan and response. We're also providing some handouts, materials for the public. Right now, I have a really robust document that was shared with us from other libraries available on our website, mostly because there are so many hyperlinks inside that would lose context in print. But they include things like Know Your Rights. They include documents like how to create a family plan, how to delegate authority if you are absent from your family, and also a very extensive list of materials helping families with children process the emotions, what immigration is, and other relevant topics. So that's something we have available right now. There's a flyer on the desk over here where you can scan the QR code and access it on your device as well. And in the library world, just this week, yesterday, there was statewide discussion that 3 of our staff attended, and were able to get more information about what this is looking like in other libraries, and also to share information and resources. So we're very attuned to the situation, and we're being proactive about responding. Do you have any questions for me or concerns that you want to share on that level?
Sir, ICE can come in here because it's a public place. Is there discussion of making a private, have a no ICE allowed in one of the rooms in the building, so that if there is an immigrant in there, they could retreat to that room?
Are you asking about using meeting rooms as non-public spaces?
Yeah.
I need to look into that further. Most of my research and what we've done already to date with our work in installing the security cameras is identifying the non-public spaces that would be obvious, like a janitor's closet or the staff workroom. So our next opportunity to look at things would be, for example, the public meeting room.
Yeah, went to a training in December, and so, and churches are no longer considered sanctuary, so ICE can come into the sanctuary. But if I put a no ICE allowed on the office door and on our media room downstairs, that can be considered a private space.
Interesting.
And so, and we also have, and we've had this on for a while, no guns allowed. And so that means that ICE cannot come into the building without a warrant, armed. If there's a no weapons allowed.
New York Times today had an article about the warrants. However, the warrants are not, most of the time are not signed by a judge.
Right.
They're issued by the ICE chairman or president or what the hell ever he is. So there's some debate about whether that's even legal.
We're
So the
told so many
discussion-
different things about what you're supposed to look for on one of these, and there's a lot of discrepancies in what they tell you is acceptable, so.
So the way that we're going to handle this operationally in the library is by following protocol for data requests and access. And it has to be a judicial warrant signed by a judge. It cannot be an administrative warrant, which is
Yes.
developed by ICE and under the name of the Department of Homeland Security. Our protocol and training is that we are not authorized to permit access. A judicial warrant has to be delivered to the city administrator, and we can provide contact information and an address for that.
That's good.
So things that we would be looking for are, the ICE may be looking for human resources information like I-9s on your staff. They may be requesting footage from the cameras. They could request data on patron use of the library or the materials on their account. And all of this is protected by law, and our process is that it has to be delivered judicial warrant through the city administrator. And we just intend to stick to our process with clarity for everyone involved.
Okay, that's
Okay.
great.
Church's I-9s are at my house.
I didn't hear that.
Mhm.
Well, there's no place to store them anyplace else. They have to be protected, I mean, from other people's area spying on them, so they're my own.
Okay.
Thank you for being up to speed on that.
Yeah,
And for keeping the staff up to speed as well.
for sure. And thanks also to trustees who reached out to me proactively with links and information, and just being concerned for our staff as well. It's very, very much appreciated to feel that presence and support. One thing I want to call out from the December library director's report is that our boilers were inspected for winter readiness, and Cook County Plumbing advised that the manufacturer of our boiler system's gone out of business, and planning now for boiler replacement would be prudent.
Do you happen to know what brand his was?
I don't off the top of my head. Is there, would you like me to email you after the meeting, or is there
I was just
something I
curious.
can know?
It's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure thing. I wanted to make sure that we had some time today to follow up on the work that was completed in 2025 on safety and security improvements for the library. And I have outlined that work. I'll just call out a few of the items that we developed: a comprehensive emergency action plan for the library, and that streamlined existing policies and procedures But importantly, it included sections on threatening customers and active shooter suspicious packages and building lockdowns, which were missing from our original facilities response plans. As a group, we updated the library conduct policy. I'm still working on getting permanent signage in the library, but the bulk of the work is done, and I have appreciated the work and investment we made in terms of how these pieces have really supported and facilitated quick action in talking through ICE and doing that in alignment with established protocols. We're in the process of installing a professional security camera system. The work has begun and will continue and should be wrapped up by the end of this month if the weather allows. Each of the policies and plans that we've implemented here have, it's not a piece of paper that was developed and then filed someplace. They all had meetings with staff and time to talk through and do scenario testing and opportunities to ask lots of questions. And we're in the process of continually providing feedback as, for example, if we experience a suspicious package, we refer to our plan, test it out, see how it performs, and discuss how things can be adapted in the revision that will happen this summer on the emergency action plan. Staff received a training on safer methods for removing a patron from the library, as well as backing each other up. I'd like to continue that training or repeat that training now that we have a refreshed group. Ultimately, I'd like to see this standardized as behavior that we all know, understand, and can perform. But for now, I'm gonna stay with the videos and allow them to provide the training and guidance. We identified a critical incident stress management process, and this helps us debrief after debrief from secondary trauma and managing an incident. The communications plan is something that I have drafted and have tested as when we were looking at a possible media inquiry that I've executed with staff, with city, with trustees to get a sense of how it would perform. And I'm working on finalizing something that will, of course, be subject to update through performance, but at least be completed and moved through the process here so that it's in place. Do you have any questions for me or want to discuss anything from the work list?
I liked seeing all our work and our discussion put into a nice format like that. It makes it look like we discussed something worthwhile.
We did. Okay.
All right. So the strategic plan, prioritizing areas of the strategic plan was one of the things we discussed as a goal for ourselves, and that Electra was given as a department goal. Is there a particular focus area that you want to look at first?
Focus area 3 sounds like it's the priority right now, or one of the bigger priorities, I guess.
Mhm.
I don't know that I need to discuss anything there, but
Mhm.
there was the other areas of the strategic plan that I was maybe thinking we could flesh out a little bit more.
Yeah, other than the last bullet in focus area 3, that we develop a facility plan, a lot of it feels kind of on the operational realm.
For us as the trustees, area 2
Mhm.
seems for me is to bring us, I mean, provide training for new board members in the role of capital planning is
Mhm.
just elect or just brought in.
Mhm.
But yeah, and ongoing. But yeah, it's professional board training on their role in capital training is, I think, is something for us as a group. That we need to tackle. Not that Amanda needs to set up for us, but we need to, working with the city.
I wonder if we could see if Kim would be available to come in February or March and go over the financial statements with us, especially given the changes we made to the financial policy, and just walk us through those and reading those and understanding where those funds are now. Would that be?
That'd be good.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good first step to get a grasp on our own finances and then figure out what else we wanted to know.
Did I hear you correctly that what you would like her to prepare is a discussion on how the financial policy was incorporated into the budget, into the financial accounts, and
maybe even to just walk through the financial statements. These are the things to be looking for. A quick 101 on reading her financial statements would be great.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
And it also says develop a policy for allocating contributions. Setting a deadline on that is probably the best thing to do. And then we have to actually
develop a policy. Do you feel like our modified financial policy doesn't do that?
Oh, that's right. We did kind of go through it
and kind of cleared up that everything goes into that one fund.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that can come out of so I do know that Kim has moved the money around, applied it to offset the balance that was in deficit. That has happened. I don't know if the additional categories of where we've allocated money have been set up yet.
Mhm.
But I do think one thing that will come out of the February or March look at those financials and how the policy is performing in practice is that you may want to reallocate money once you see what you have available and where it's at right now.
What kind of interest we're getting.
All of that. Yeah. Is that something you were interested in? I know. Looking at the interest rates.
Yeah, I think we did bring up interest because it's not very much, relatively speaking.
Right.
Okay.
So good. For the first quarter, we'll look at focus area 2. And that'll lead us right into budget season, so that'll be great.
Yeah.
Budget season sure comes up
Fast, doesn't it?
Seems like it's always budget season.
All right. Anything else on the strategic plan? All right. In that case, we've reached the end of our meeting. Running a Dave Mills meeting here. It's not even 5:30.
Awesome.
We are adjourned.
Well, I would suggest then for as an agenda item for next time is to have information on the boiler, how old it is, when is expected life going to be done, and where funds are gonna, and start
funds,
looking for
yep.
funds to how to replace it, estimates and funds. And, I mean, is that a city thing since it's city runs, or is
I am the leading expert on this facility and would be delighted to find this information for you. I can tell you that we had this analyzed by Jamar a few years back, and their assessment was, yeah, it's looking pretty old. You can tell here, here, and here, but we can't predict for you when it's going to die.
Tomorrow night.
Sue.
Go away.
Do you have leak detectors back there so that when it breaks, we can pick up the leak?
I don't think so. Well, we did address a leak, y'all remember that?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we had some of the parts replaced to clean up some of the corrosion on the inside. And it's been a stable, solid machine. The way we have a redundant program, so like if I think it's actually 2 boilers, and it's like if this side goes out, that one keeps working kind of as much as it can.
And that's when it won't freeze.
Yeah.
So that's
How old is the
comforting.
boiler? When is the life over? And where can we what?
does this come out of city budget or
Oh, the funding.
Funding, yeah.
funding? Since this is city property, or city expecting the board to use their funds.
The city's going to tell you that you get to decide. And you do have options because of the 215. Like you can look at this as a capital expense that should come out of the operational budget. And we do have healthy reserves that we can look at as part of the payment or full payment process. Or you can consider using the 215. But I think that's a really great set of questions that align with getting that refreshed look at that policy we just wrote and having Kim come in and chat.
Yeah.
Those are my off the cuffs though.
Sweet.
Okay.
Now you're good. Now we're adjourned. 5:30.
Thank
Perfect
you.
half hour.
5:28 and a half.